"Why don't you leave me alone, human?" the alien queen yelled in fury. The ground beneath her boots shimmered with bioluminescent patterns, like rivers of light flowing in slow motion. Strange flowers glowed faintly, and their petals swayed even though the air was still. Towering crystal formations rose from the ground like silent guardians, reflecting the sky's pale lavender hue. Ilara had seen many planets in her career, but nothing like this. She bent down to inspect a cluster of small, luminescent plants. Their stems seemed almost translucent, and tiny pulses of light ran along their veins. "Incredible," she whispered. "This place, it's alive in ways we've never imagined." Her team was a short distance away, busy examining the nearby crystalline formations. They had landed here to study the planet's unusual energy crystals, which seemed to hum faintly with a kind of natural power. According to their scans, the crystals might be a source of sustainable energy, a discovery that could change humanity's understanding of the universe. But Ilara's curiosity had drawn her farther from the group. She couldn't resist exploring the winding paths through the glowing forest. Every step revealed something new: floating orbs that emitted soft music-like tones, plants that changed colors when she touched them, and small animals that shimmered with iridescent fur. As she moved deeper into the forest, she felt a subtle vibration under her feet, like the planet itself was breathing. Then, through the misty glow of the forest, she noticed a massive structure in the distance. It was not natural, tall, sleek, and impossibly symmetrical. Its surface pulsed with a soft green light. Ilara's heart raced. This is not just a forest. Someone or something built this. Before she could take another step, a voice echoed through the crystalline air. It was clear, sharp, and filled with authority. "Why don't you leave me alone, human?" Ilara froze. Her eyes darted around, searching for the source of the voice. Then, from behind a set of enormous crystalline pillars, emerged a figure. She was unlike anything Ilara had ever seen. The alien queen, Zalaria, moved with a grace that seemed almost otherworldly. Her body shimmered with translucent skin that reflected the colors around her. Energy pulses ran along her arms and legs, flickering like faint lightning. Her eyes were large, luminous, and held a depth that seemed to peer directly into Ilara's thoughts. Ilara instinctively raised her hands in a peaceful gesture. "I mean no harm," she said softly. "I'm a scientist. I'm here to study your planet, not to disturb you." Zalaria's expression did not change. Her energy pulses flickered faster, indicating irritation. "Humans always say that," she replied, her voice resonating like music and electricity at the same time. "Yet your presence disrupts everything. Why are you here?" Ilara swallowed hard. "We are studying the energy crystals. Your planet has a type of energy we have never seen. It could help both humans and, I think, maybe even your people." The queen's eyes narrowed. "My people," she repeated. "You assume you understand us." Ilara took a deep breath. "No, I don't, but I want to learn. If you allow me, I promise to respect your world and your rules." For a long moment, Zalaria just watched her. The air seemed to hum with tension. Then she raised one hand, and a thin ribbon of energy spiraled from her fingers toward a nearby crystal pillar. The crystal's light grew brighter, and for a moment the forest seemed to hold its breath. "You are bold, human," Zalaria said finally. "Most creatures would have run when they first saw me. Most would have fled or hid, but you stay. Why?" Ilara's lips curved into a small smile. "Because curiosity is what makes humans human. And because I believe that understanding you could make the universe better for both of us." Zalaria tilted her head, observing Ilara with what seemed like amusement. Then she gestured with her hand. A pathway of light opened, leading deeper into the crystalline structure. "Come," she said. "If you wish to see, you may, but one step wrong and you will regret it." Ilara nodded eagerly, careful to move slowly. She followed the queen through the glowing corridors, each step revealing more of the alien world. The walls were alive with shifting colors, like the surface of a calm river in sunlight. Strange symbols floated in the air, rotating and changing shape. "This place, it's like nothing I've ever imagined," Ilara murmured. "It's beautiful." Zalaria's pulse-like glow dimmed slightly. "Beauty is not the same as safety," she said. "Many who come here cannot understand the balance of life. They disrupt it. Humans are unpredictable." Ilara looked down at her own hands. "Maybe we are unpredictable. But sometimes that unpredictability leads to good, to discovery, to understanding." The queen paused at a chamber filled with massive floating crystals. Each one radiated a different color, and the air vibrated with energy. "These crystals are the lifeblood of my people," Zalaria explained. "They give us energy, sustain our cities, and keep the forests alive. You cannot take them." "I wouldn't," Alara said quickly. "I only wish to study to understand. Perhaps I can learn how they work, so one day humans and your people can share knowledge safely." For the first time, Zalaria's energy pulses slowed, as if she were considering the human's words. "Perhaps," she said cautiously. "You may study, but with limitations. Follow my rules and do not touch what you do not understand. Your curiosity may yet be tolerated." Alara felt a surge of relief. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I promise I will be careful and respectful." The queen nodded once and turned, her translucent form moving gracefully down another corridor. "Then follow, human. Observe, learn, but do not presume to interfere with what you do not comprehend." As Alara followed, she felt a mixture of awe and determination. Here, on a world so different from Earth, she realized something profound. Humanity had always been curious, always willing to explore. And maybe that curiosity, guided with respect, was exactly what the universe needed. The corridor opened to a balcony overlooking a massive crystal lake. Its waters shimmered with soft blue light, reflecting the alien sky above. Zalaria gestured toward the lake. "See how energy flows naturally here," she said. "We do not control it fully, we coexist with it." Alara knelt to examine the glowing water. Tiny particles of light floated above its surface, forming patterns that resembled constellations. She carefully placed her hand near the water, feeling the energy vibrate softly against her skin. "It's incredible," she whispered. "It's alive in a way I never imagined." Zalaria's luminous eyes studied her. "Humans, perhaps you are not entirely foolish. There may be potential for you to learn." Alara smiled, her heart racing with excitement. She knew that this first encounter was only the beginning. A beginning where humans and aliens might learn from each other, where curiosity and courage could bridge worlds, and where understanding could flourish. The queen's voice echoed softly as they moved back toward the inner chambers. "Do not disappoint me, human. Curiosity alone is not enough. Wisdom must follow." Alara straightened her shoulders. "I won't, Your Majesty. I will do my best to honor your world and your people." And as the glowing corridors of the alien palace stretched out before her, Alara realized that the adventure had only just begun. She had stepped onto a world filled with wonders, mysteries, and a powerful being who might one day become an ally. And that was enough to ignite the spark of hope, courage, and human ingenuity within her. Alara had spent hours exploring the glowing corridors of Zalaria's crystal palace. Each step revealed wonders she could never have imagined. The walls themselves seemed alive, shifting colors and patterns as if they were responding to her presence. Tiny motes of light floated through the air, moving like fireflies but with purpose, creating trails that hinted at paths she had not yet discovered. Zalaria moved ahead, her form glowing softly, like a living light sculpture. She seemed to glide rather than walk, her energy pulses radiating quietly but steadily. Alara followed, careful to match her pace, aware that one wrong move might ruin the fragile trust she had begun to earn. "You are studying my people's world," Zalaria said without turning. "You observe, yet you do not understand everything. You must be careful. Knowledge without understanding can be dangerous." Alara nodded. "I understand. I want to learn, not harm." "Do humans always speak like that?" Zalaria asked, her luminous eyes fixed on Alara. "Not always," Alara said with a small smile. "But we try to. Communication matters. It is how we understand each other and build trust." Zalaria paused at a large chamber. The ceiling arched high above, covered in floating crystal fragments that reflected light in every direction. At the center of the room was a platform of translucent energy, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Strange, intricate symbols rotated around it, suspended in midair. "This is the Chamber of Patterns," Zalaria explained. "Here we study energy, the flow of life. These symbols record the history of our people and our planet. Every pulse, every movement has meaning." Alara stepped closer, fascinated. She could see subtle shifts in the symbols like they were alive. Her scientific mind raced to understand what she was observing. "These symbols, they are like a language made of light and energy. Incredible. You found a way to record history without writing or stone." "It's elegant and efficient." Zalaria's energy pulses flickered with interest. You notice what many do not. Humans, perhaps you are more attentive than your species appears. Alara's heart warmed at the subtle praise. We try to learn from what we see. Observation is part of who we are. For a while they stood in silence, watching the glowing patterns. Then Zalaria gestured toward a cluster of crystals at the edge of the platform. These are unstable, she said. Even my people struggle to control them. They respond to energy, but their behavior is unpredictable. Most visitors would be afraid to approach. Yet you come closer. Alara knelt carefully near the crystals, letting her hands hover above the shimmering surface. She could feel a faint vibration in the air, like a heartbeat synchronized with the crystal's pulses. I feel it, she whispered. It's like the crystals are alive. They react to my presence, my thoughts, maybe even my curiosity. Zalaria watched closely. Curiosity is dangerous, she said. Your species seems to possess it in abundance. Most cannot control it, and many fail to respect boundaries. Alara tilted her head. Curiosity can be a tool, not a danger. It drives exploration, discovery, and understanding. Without it, humans never would have left their own planet or learned about the stars. The Queen's energy pulses slowed, almost as if she were considering the statement. Perhaps, she said. Yet your curiosity must be guided. Observation alone is not enough. Understanding comes from patience and respect. Alara smiled. I understand. I want to learn the rules of your world. To observe, yes, but also to respect, to understand. Zalaria's attention shifted slightly. If you truly wish to learn, then you must try to comprehend more than what you see. Energy, life, and balance are connected here. Disruption is subtle yet profound. Humans often act without knowing the impact of their actions. Alara's mind raced. So you are saying I need to think beyond what is visible. Consider the effect of my presence, the ripple I might create. I can do that. I will do that. For the first time, Zalaria allowed a flicker of amusement to shine through her energy. Perhaps humans are not entirely reckless. Observation alone may yet become understanding, but words are not enough. Actions reveal the truth. As if to test Alara, Zalaria led her to another chamber. This one was filled with floating structures resembling bridges of light, delicate and seemingly fragile. Small energy creatures darted between the structures, shaping the flow of light with each movement. These are the guides, Zalaria explained. They manage the balance of energy in our cities. Without them, our world would lose harmony. Alara reached out slowly, careful not to touch the guides. One of them darted near her hand, pausing as if studying her. They seem intelligent, she said softly. They are, Zalaria said, but intelligence without purpose is meaningless. You may have curiosity, but do you have patience? Understanding requires patience. Alara took a deep breath. I can try, I will try. For hours, they moved through chambers filled with glowing energy streams, floating crystals, and strange patterns. Alara asked questions, careful to listen and observe, while Zalaria explained principles of energy, balance, and harmony. The human's mind absorbed everything like a sponge. Every question she asked was thoughtful, respectful, and precise, earning small pulses of approval from the Queen. Yet, despite the calm learning, Alara sensed tension in the air. The planet was alive, reacting to their presence in subtle ways. Small ripples in light flowed through the chambers whenever they moved, as if the energy of the world itself were assessing her worthiness. At one point, Alara paused near a crystal that pulsed a deep blue. This one is different, she observed. Its rhythm is slower, more stable. Can it teach me something? Zalaria's glow pulsed softly. It is the oldest of the crystals. It has seen generations of my people. Its lessons are not easily understood. Few have patience to listen. Alara placed her hand carefully near the crystal. She closed her eyes and focused, trying to feel the patterns in its pulses. Slowly, she began to notice subtle changes in the light, like tiny messages in rhythm and hue. Her mind, trained to find patterns in chaos, began to decode the pulses. Zalaria's energy shimmered with interest. You are persistent. Perhaps humans have more potential than I assumed. Alara opened her eyes, excitement shining in them. I can feel the patterns. I think I can understand them. You may, Zalaria said cautiously, but understanding is only the beginning. Action and respect must follow. Many beings see patterns, few act wisely with the knowledge. Alara nodded solemnly. I will act wisely. I promise. As the day passed, Alara learned more than she could have imagined. She discovered principles of energy that surpassed human science, saw patterns in life that revealed the deep balance of this alien world and slowly began to earn the trust of Xylaria. By the time they returned to the entrance of the Crystal Palace, the sun had begun to set, casting long purple and gold shadows across the glowing forest. Xylaria's energy pulses were steady and calm, indicating a rare moment of approval. "You have done well today, human," the queen said. "You observe, you listen, and you respect. Yet your journey has only begun. Curiosity without understanding will lead you astray, but guided curiosity may yet bring your species to greatness." Alara felt a sense of pride and responsibility. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I will continue to learn and respect your world. I will do my best to understand and act wisely." The queen's form shimmered. "Remember this, balance is the key to all life. The flow of energy connects everything. Interfere without thought and you disrupt not only what you see but what you cannot see." Alara nodded. "I understand. I will keep that in mind." As she left the palace, following the glowing path back to her team, she reflected on the day. She realized that the human mind, with its curiosity, intelligence, and determination, could achieve great things, if guided by wisdom and respect. And perhaps this world, so different from Earth, might one day become a place where humans and aliens could learn from each other together. The sun dipped below the horizon, and the forest glowed with even greater intensity. Alara's heart raced with excitement. She had survived the first test of curiosity, and she knew the future held even greater challenges. But she also knew that humans had a unique spark, an ability to adapt, learn, and inspire. That might be exactly what this alien world and the universe needed. And somewhere deep within the glowing palace, Xylaria observed her. The queen's energy pulses were steady, thoughtful. Perhaps, Alara realized, humans were not entirely unpredictable after all. Perhaps they were capable of greatness. The next morning, Alara awoke on the soft, glowing ground outside her research camp. The alien forest was quiet, the only sound coming from the gentle hum of the energy crystals scattered across the landscape. Her mind replayed the events of the previous day, her first meeting with Xylaria, the exploration of the Crystal Palace, and the lessons about energy and balance. She felt excitement, but also a sense of responsibility. Humanity's curiosity had brought her here, but now it carried the weight of respect and understanding. Her team was busy examining the glowing flora and small energy nodes scattered around the camp. Instruments hummed softly as they measured energy readings, each one displaying data that baffled even the most experienced scientists. Alara shared a look with her colleague, Dr. Tannis, a young physicist who had been eager to study the planet since the day they arrived. "Any progress?" Alara asked. Tannis shook her head. "Some, but the readings keep changing. The energy seems responsive. It's like the planet itself is aware we're here." Alara nodded. She had felt the same thing yesterday. The forest, the crystals, even the air itself seemed alive in a way that humans could observe but never fully control. As she was pondering this, a subtle vibration ran through the ground. The plants around them quivered, their light pulsing faster. Alara's heart skipped a beat. "Something is happening," she said softly. The team gathered closer, watching as the energy readings spiked. Then, from the direction of the palace, a wave of light rolled across the forest, causing the trees and crystals to shimmer violently. Xylaria appeared at the edge of the forest, her form glowing with intensity. "A disturbance approaches," she said. Her voice carried a calm authority, but there was urgency in the pulses of her energy. "It is not dangerous if managed properly, but it will disrupt the balance of life here if ignored." Alara stepped forward. "What kind of disturbance?" she asked. "A natural event," Xylaria explained. "A solar surge from your planet's sun has reached this system earlier than predicted. It will affect the flow of energy in this forest and the stability of the crystals. Alone, my people cannot contain it in time." Alara's mind raced. She had studied solar surges before, but never in an alien environment like this. "We can help," she said. "Our technology can monitor and manage energy flows. If we combine it with your methods, we might prevent damage." Xylaria's luminous eyes fixed on her. "Do you understand the complexity?" she asked. "This is not a simple energy problem. The crystals, the forest, the creatures all are connected. One mistake and the imbalance will cascade." Alara met her gaze. "I understand. But humans have a strength, adaptability, and problem-solving. We can think in ways that are unexpected but effective. If you allow us to assist, we can help maintain balance." For a moment, Zalaria's energy pulses flickered as if weighing the offer. Then she nodded. Very well. Follow my guidance. I will show you what must be done. Work carefully, human. The flow of life depends on it. Ilara nodded, feeling both nervous and excited. This was no longer a matter of observation. It was a real test of humanity's ingenuity and ability to work alongside another species. Zalaria led them to a central chamber in the palace, a massive space filled with floating crystals and energy conduits. The air vibrated with power, and tiny energy creatures darted between the streams of light, maintaining harmony. These are the nodes, Zalaria explained. They distribute energy throughout the forest. The solar surge will alter the flow. You must stabilize it, using your methods combined with ours. Ilara studied the complex network. It seemed impossible at first glance. The human instruments could measure energy fluctuations, but they could not directly interact with the flow. The alien methods required precision and intuition. We can do this, Ilara said, taking a deep breath. We'll monitor the readings and suggest adjustments. You guide the energy, we will calculate the most stable configurations. Zalaria's pulses brightened slightly, a sign of approval. Very well, begin. For hours, they worked together. Ilara's team monitored the readings, suggesting subtle adjustments to the energy conduits. Zalaria and her guides used precise energy pulses to redirect flows, synchronizing with the natural rhythm of the crystals. The process was delicate. One misstep could create imbalances, causing the crystals to pulse erratically or the forest energy to fluctuate dangerously. But Ilara's calculations, combined with the Queen's guidance, proved effective. Watch the northern nodes, Ilara said, pointing to a cluster of floating crystals. They're resonating too quickly. If we adjust the flow slightly, we can bring them back in sync. Zalaria's energy pulsed in response. Good observation, human. Proceed carefully. Ilara instructed her team to adjust their instruments, sending controlled energy pulses into the network. Slowly, the northern nodes slowed, falling back into harmony with the rest of the system. A soft, harmonious hum filled the chamber, signaling stability. You are capable, Zalaria said, her voice carrying a rare note of admiration. Humans, perhaps your species' creativity is as strong as your curiosity. Ilara smiled, feeling a surge of pride. It's not just creativity, it's teamwork, and right now your species and mine are learning to work together. As they continued their work, the solar surge approached. Its energy waves rippled through the chamber, creating challenges they had not anticipated. Some nodes became unstable, requiring rapid adjustments. Redirect the flow through the eastern conduit, Ilara suggested. It will absorb the excess energy and prevent the central nodes from overloading. Zalaria's pulses brightened in agreement. Yes, do it now. The human team carefully implemented the adjustments. Energy flowed smoothly through the eastern conduit, stabilizing the central nodes. The chamber hummed with balanced power, and the small energy creatures darted through the streams, maintaining harmony. Hours passed like minutes. The human team worked tirelessly, guided by Zalaria's wisdom and the intuition of the alien creatures. They communicated silently, understanding that every action affected the delicate balance. Finally, the solar surge reached its peak. Energy waves swept through the forest, but thanks to their combined efforts, the system held steady. The crystals pulsed in harmony, the forest maintained its glow, and the guides moved through the network with effortless precision. Ilara exhaled, feeling the tension leave her body. We did it, she whispered. The system, it's stable. Zalaria's form shimmered with approval. Indeed, you and your people have done well, human. Your species possesses qualities that are unexpected. Resourcefulness, adaptability, and determination. Ilara felt her chest swell with pride. Thank you, Your Majesty, but it wasn't just me. My team, we worked together, and you guided us. The Queen's luminous eyes softened. True strength lies in collaboration. Alone, a species may achieve much, but together, possibilities expand beyond imagination. Humans, perhaps your species is capable of more than even you know. The energy creatures returned to their resting positions, their movement slowing as harmony returned to the forest. The chamber was calm, glowing with soft, stable light. Ilara turned to her team. Look at this, she said. We've not only studied the crystals, we've learned to work with them. Humanity's curiosity, guided by wisdom and respect, can create harmony even in an alien world. Tannis nodded, eyes wide. I never thought we'd be able to do something like this. It's inspiring. Zalaria observed them silently for a moment. Humans have potential. Curiosity, if guided, can lead to wisdom. Courage, when tempered with respect, can solve problems even my species cannot manage alone. Today, you have proven this. Ilara felt a warm sense of accomplishment. Humanity's strengths, its intelligence, adaptability, and courage, had combined with alien wisdom to prevent disaster. It was a moment of pride, but also a reminder of the responsibility that came with knowledge. The Queen's form flickered as she spoke again. Remember, human. Balance must be maintained. Curiosity is powerful, but it must be paired with respect. Knowledge without understanding is useless. You have done well, but the universe is vast and challenges will continue. You must be prepared. Ilara nodded. We will be prepared. Humans learn quickly, especially when guided by wisdom like yours. Zalaria's pulses brightened, a rare smile reflected in the flickering lights of her form. Perhaps, together, our species can achieve something greater than either could alone. As they left the chamber, the forest outside shimmered with renewed light. The energy pulses were steady, and the air vibrated softly, carrying a sense of harmony and balance. Ilara knew that the day had changed everything, not just for her team, but for the potential relationship between humans and the alien species. Ilara looked up at the glowing sky. She realized something profound. Humanity's curiosity, intelligence, and courage were not just traits. They were tools that could help protect and understand worlds beyond their own. And guided by wisdom and respect, humans could achieve greatness, even in places far from Earth. For the first time, Ilara felt the true weight of the human spirit, the ability to face challenges, adapt, and create solutions where none seemed possible. And she knew that whatever came next, humans and aliens could face it together, stronger than either alone. The sun rose slowly over the alien forest, casting gentle lavender and gold hues across the glowing landscape. Ilara Voss stepped out of her tent, stretching as she took in the serene view. After the previous day's challenges, she felt a mixture of pride and excitement. Humans had proven themselves capable of working alongside the alien species, and today she hoped to strengthen that trust even further. Her team gathered around, instruments in hand, but their excitement was quiet. Even after a successful collaboration, the forest had a way of reminding them that they were visitors. Every plant shimmered with energy, every crystal hummed softly, and tiny floating creatures moved gracefully among the glowing branches. It was as though the planet itself was alive, watching, and judging. Ilara, Dr. Tanny said, pointing toward a path of shimmering stones, Zalaria is waiting. She has requested we follow her to the central energy grove. Ilara nodded. The energy grove was one of the most sacred places on the planet, a location where the forest's power concentrated. It was a place humans were rarely allowed to visit, but the Queen's invitation signaled trust, and Ilara understood its significance. As they walked, the ground pulsed gently beneath their feet, guiding their steps along the path. The air vibrated with soft, melodic tones, harmonizing with the soft hum of the crystals. Every detail seemed deliberate, as though the forest itself was teaching them the rhythm of life here. When they reached the grove, Zalaria was already waiting. She stood atop a small rise, her luminous form glowing brighter in the morning light. Energy pulses radiated gently from her, creating a soft wave that washed over the humans, filling them with a sense of calm and focus. Ilara, the Queen said, her voice resonating through the grove, yesterday you demonstrated courage, intelligence, and cooperation. You guided your people with wisdom, and together we maintained the balance of life. Today I wish to teach you something else, understanding and respect. Ilara felt a thrill of anticipation. I'm ready, Your Majesty. We are eager to learn. Zalaria gestured toward the grove. The energy here was denser, richer, flowing in complex patterns that interwove with the forest around them. The strength of this planet comes from connection. Every living being, every crystal, every pulse of energy is linked. To act without respect is to harm all. Humans, your species often acts without understanding the connections around you. Ilara lowered her head respectfully. We have much to learn, but yesterday taught us the importance of cooperation. We will do our best to honor the balance here. The Queen's glow pulsed in acknowledgement. Humans, perhaps your species' greatest gift is your ability to adapt. You learn quickly, even in unfamiliar environments. Yet adaptation alone is not enough. you must also feel and understand the world around you. Alara listened carefully, taking in every word. She had always believed that observation was only part of learning. Now, in the heart of this alien world, she understood that empathy and respect were equally essential. "Show me," Zalaria said suddenly, raising a hand toward the nearest crystal cluster. The crystals responded instantly, their light brightening and pulsing in rhythm with her energy. "Feel the flow, human. Do not just observe it. Listen. Let it guide you." Alara stepped closer, letting her hands hover above the crystals. At first, she felt only faint vibrations, soft and irregular. But as she focused, she began to perceive the intricate patterns of energy moving through them, the subtle rise and fall, the gentle shifts that indicated the forest's state of harmony. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "I can feel the life in every pulse." "Yes," Zalaria said softly. "Understanding begins with connection. Your curiosity brought you here, but your respect allows you to learn. Feel the energy of the forest. Sense the creatures, the plants, the crystals. See how each pulse affects another. Only then will you truly understand balance." For hours, Alara and her team worked under Zalaria's guidance. They practiced sensing the energy flow, learning how small actions could influence the forest's balance. Alara realized that her scientific mind, combined with careful observation and empathy, allowed her to see patterns even the aliens had not fully noticed. "This is incredible," she said during a brief pause. "I can see the connections. The energy moves like a web, linking everything together. Even the smallest creature affects the crystals, and vice versa." Zalaria's glow pulsed with approval. "You understand more than you realize, human. Curiosity brought you here, but understanding comes from feeling, respecting, and learning from what surrounds you." As the day progressed, the humans grew more confident. They began to anticipate the energy pulses, adjusting their movements and observations in harmony with the forest. The guides, the small energy creatures that maintained balance, darted around them, no longer wary but curious, as if recognizing the humans as allies rather than intruders. Dr. Tannis approached Alara, whispering, "It's amazing. I've never felt anything like this. It's like we are part of the forest now, not just observers." Alara smiled. "Exactly, that's what Zalaria is teaching us. Humans don't just survive, we adapt, we learn. And when we respect life, even in a place so different from Earth, we can become part of its harmony." Zalaria observed silently for a moment, then spoke again. "Humans have potential beyond what your species often believes. You possess intelligence, creativity, and courage. But above all, you can choose to act with respect. Yesterday, you proved your abilities. Today, you prove your character." Alara felt a surge of pride, not just for herself, but for all of humanity. Their species had often been underestimated by others in the galaxy. But here, in the heart of an alien world, their ingenuity, empathy, and courage shone brightly. Suddenly, a soft ripple of light ran through the grove. The energy creatures paused, floating in place, and the crystals flickered gently. Zalaria's pulses shifted, a sign of focus and attention. "A change approaches," the queen said. "A subtle shift in energy unlike yesterday. Observe carefully, humans. Learn how to respond without disrupting the balance." Alara stepped forward, her senses tuned to the intricate patterns of the grove. She could feel the gentle tremor in the energy, a ripple that moved through the crystals and the forest. "It's different," she said. "Slower, calmer than the surge yesterday, but it's still shifting the flow. We need to adjust our observations, not interfere, just guide." "Correct," Zalaria said. "You have learned patience. That is as important as intelligence. Act too soon and you disrupt. Act too late and you fail. Humans, you are learning well." The humans worked quietly, observing the changes in the energy flow. They synchronized their instruments with the pulses of the crystals, noting subtle shifts, recording patterns, and predicting outcomes. Unlike yesterday, there was no urgency, no danger, only careful, respectful attention. Hours passed, and the energy stabilized naturally, guided by the humans' observations and Zalaria's intuitive adjustments. The grove hummed with harmony, the light of the crystals reflecting a balanced, gentle glow across the forest. Alara stepped back, breathing deeply. "We did it," she said softly. "No interference, just understanding and respect." Zalaria's energy shimmered brightly. "Yes, today you did not just act, you understood. You felt the balance, respected it, and allowed it to guide you. Humans, that is the essence of wisdom." Alara's heart swelled. Thank you, Your Majesty, for guiding us, for trusting us. You have earned trust through patience, observation, and care, Zalaria replied. Your species has often been underestimated in the universe. But humans, your curiosity, intelligence, and respect can achieve things many others cannot. Remember this, true greatness comes from learning, understanding, and acting with care. Alara nodded. We will remember. And we will continue to grow, to learn, and to respect life wherever we go. The day drew to a close, the sun dipping below the horizon and bathing the forest in soft violet light. The humans returned to their camp, but the lessons of the day lingered in their minds. They had not only observed the alien world, they had participated in its balance, learned its rhythms, and earned the respect of its queen. Alara sat quietly, watching the glow of the forest. She realized that humans were capable of far more than exploration and study. They could inspire, cooperate, and harmonize with life in ways that transcended simple observation. Their curiosity, tempered by respect and empathy, had allowed them to connect with a world beyond their imagination. Zalaria's form shimmered in the distance, her energy calm and steady. The queen had taught them patience, understanding, and the subtle power of respect. Humanity's strengths, courage, ingenuity, and curiosity were now complemented by wisdom and empathy. And as Alara gazed at the glowing trees and floating crystals, she understood something profound. Humans had not only survived on this alien world, they had become part of its harmony. For the first time, she felt the true weight of human potential. Curiosity and courage could inspire, intelligence could solve problems, and respect could create lasting bonds across species and worlds. Humanity's legacy was not only exploration, it was understanding, collaboration, and the ability to act wisely in the face of the unknown. And somewhere in the heart of the glowing forest, Zalaria observed them silently. The queen's energy pulses reflected thoughtfulness and approval. Perhaps humans were not just visitors to this world, they were students, allies, and partners. Perhaps they were capable of greatness beyond imagination. Alara smiled softly. The journey was far from over, but today humanity had earned respect, trust, and the first step toward a bond that could change the universe. The morning sun rose over the alien forest like a soft, glowing promise. Alara Voss stood at the edge of the camp, watching the golden and lavender light reflect off the crystal trees. The energy of the forest was calm, steady, and vibrant, a living testament to the harmony humans and aliens had achieved together. The previous days had tested her curiosity, intelligence, and patience, and now the greatest challenge remained. Leaving the planet with the respect, trust, and knowledge she had earned, and forging a bond that could last beyond a single visit. Her team was already preparing the equipment for departure. Instruments were packed, samples carefully contained, and records meticulously logged. Despite the excitement of completing their mission, there was a quiet reverence in the air. Humans had been guests here, and leaving required careful thought and reflection. Alara, Dr. Tannis called, Zalaria is waiting for us at the Palace of Light. She said it is time to discuss the next steps before we depart. Alara nodded, taking a deep breath. The Palace of Light was the most sacred place on the planet, a site where energy flowed freely, unrestricted, and where the Queen often reflected on matters of importance. It was an honor to be invited there, a clear signal that trust had been established. When they arrived, Zalaria was already standing in the center of the palace. Her translucent form glowed brighter than ever, casting soft reflections across the floating crystal walls. Energy pulses radiated from her, calming and steady, like a heartbeat that connected the humans to the living planet around them. Alara, Zalaria said, her voice carrying both authority and warmth, humans have proven themselves capable, patient, and respectful. You have observed, learned, and acted with wisdom. For this, you have earned more than my trust. You have earned the opportunity to leave a legacy here. Alara's heart raced. Legacy? She asked. I don't fully understand. Zalaria extended a hand, and a small orb of light appeared in the air. Within it, patterns of energy swirled, moving with intricate precision. This is a seed of knowledge, she explained. It contains the lessons of my people, the energy patterns of this world, and the understanding we have cultivated over generations. With guidance, it can grow in your species, in your understanding, and in your ability to harmonize with life beyond your world. Alara stared at the glowing orb. You mean we can carry this knowledge back to humanity? Yes, Zalaria replied. But it is not just knowledge, it is responsibility. Curiosity alone is not enough. Respect, understanding, and care must guide you. Your species possesses courage, creativity, and intelligence. Combined with wisdom, you may inspire others to achieve what you have achieved here. Alara's team gathered closer, each person feeling the weight of the moment. Humans were not only explorers, they were learners, partners, and potential ambassadors of harmony. The responsibility was immense, but so was the opportunity. I promise, Alara said, her voice steady, we will carry this knowledge with respect. We will share it wisely and ensure that humanity learns not only the science but the values that accompany it. We will honor your world, your majesty. Zalaria's pulses brightened, reflecting approval. I believe you, human. That belief alone is a gift. You have shown your potential, and now the universe may benefit from it. Remember, your actions, your decisions, and your curiosity can inspire greatness, but only if guided by understanding and care. After a moment of quiet reflection, the queen gestured toward a section of the palace floor. The crystals beneath their feet formed a bridge of light, leading toward the central hall. As they walked, the humans observed new patterns in the energy flows, patterns that revealed deeper truths about life, balance, and harmony. Ilara, Zalaria said softly, observe carefully. These patterns are not merely decorative. They are a map, a guide for those who choose to act wisely. They show the connections between life, energy, and action. Humans often see only a portion of the universe. You now have a glimpse of its harmony. Ilara focused on the intricate patterns, feeling the rhythm of energy pulse through her own body. She realized that humans were capable of understanding worlds far beyond their own, not only through science but through observation, empathy, and respect. Each pulse, each shift carried meaning, and humans had the ability to decode it if they were willing to learn. The queen paused at a glowing dais in the center of the hall. This is the heart of the planet, she explained. It is the source of energy for all life here. It responds to balance, not force. Those who disturb it without care risk harm, even unintentionally, but those who act with understanding may achieve harmony and inspire others. Alara stepped forward, feeling the soft vibration beneath her feet. It's magnificent, she whispered. I can feel life in everything, the crystals, the forest, even you. Zalaria's glow pulsed softly. And you understand it. Humans may be young in the galaxy, but your species' potential is extraordinary. Courage, curiosity, intelligence, and respect, combined, they can accomplish wonders. As the humans absorbed the lesson, the queen continued. The seed of knowledge I entrust to you is only the beginning. Your species must learn to interpret, adapt, and share it wisely. In doing so, you may create connections between worlds that surpass anything we have imagined. Alara's heart swelled with pride and determination. We will. Humanity will learn, and we will honor your guidance. We will not take this responsibility lightly. Zalaria nodded, her energy pulsing steadily. I believe you, human, and in that belief lies hope, not only for your species but for the universe. Greatness is not achieved alone. It is earned through understanding, cooperation, and respect for life beyond oneself. The humans spent the rest of the morning observing and learning from the heart of the planet. They practiced harmonizing with its energy, noting subtle shifts and patterns, and documenting everything with care. Unlike before, this was not about controlling or analyzing. It was about connection, understanding, and patience. As the day drew to a close, the humans prepared to depart. Their spacecraft was ready, instruments packed, and samples secured. But more than that, they carried something far more important: the trust of an alien queen, the lessons of an entire world, and the knowledge that humans could inspire and create harmony across the galaxy. Zalaria met them at the edge of the palace. Remember, human, she said, this is not an ending, it is a continuation. Curiosity, courage, and intelligence must always be guided by respect and understanding. Your actions will shape how other worlds see humanity. Carry this wisely. Alara stepped forward, holding the seed of knowledge carefully. We will, Your Majesty, we will share it responsibly, and we will ensure that humans learn from this experience. Thank you for trusting us and for teaching us so much. The Queen's energy shimmered with approval. Go, human, carry your legacy, and may your species inspire harmony wherever you travel. With one final glance at the glowing forest, the humans boarded their spacecraft. As they lifted off, the planet stretched below them like a living jewel, its light pulsing softly in farewell. Alara looked back, feeling both sadness and pride. She knew that leaving was necessary, but the bond they had forged would endure. Between humans and aliens, curiosity and wisdom, courage and respect. As they traveled through space, Alara reflected on what they had accomplished. Humanity had proven itself not only capable of exploration, but also of understanding, cooperation, and harmony. The lessons of Zalaria and her world would shape their future journeys, guiding their actions and inspiring others to act with care, respect, and courage. "This is more than science," Alara said softly to her team. "It's a lesson in who we can be. Humans are not just explorers. We can be learners, teachers, and partners across the stars." Tannis nodded. "And we've seen it firsthand. Our species has potential, real potential. Not just to discover, but to inspire." Alara smiled. "Exactly. Curiosity brought us here. Courage allowed us to act. Intelligence helped us solve problems, but respect and understanding, that is what will allow humanity to leave a true legacy." As the stars stretched before them, the humans felt a deep sense of connection, not just to the alien world they had visited, but to the universe itself. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries and challenges, but also full of opportunities for learning, cooperation, and growth. Humanity had taken the first step toward realizing its potential as a species capable of inspiring greatness, not just on their home planet, but across the stars. And somewhere far below, Zalaria watched them leave. The Queen's energy pulses reflected thoughtfulness and hope. Humans had proven themselves worthy, not through force or power, but through curiosity, respect, and wisdom. Perhaps, she thought, this species could one day become a true partner in the galaxy, a species capable of achieving wonders and inspiring harmony wherever they traveled. Alara looked out at the endless sky, her heart filled with determination. This was only the beginning. The universe was wide and humanity had much to learn, but now they also had the guidance, the trust, and the inspiration to face whatever lay ahead. As the spacecraft disappeared into the stars, the glowing planet below pulsed softly, as if waving farewell. And in that pulse, Alara felt the heartbeat of a new understanding, a promise that humans, guided by courage, curiosity, intelligence, and respect, could leave a legacy that would endure across worlds and generations. The journey had ended, but the adventure of humanity had only just begun.